Well, I found this to be quite interesting. Of course, Zelda's out. What the hell's a game called Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild? And it can already be booted up in the latest version of CEMU, emulator. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has just been released on Nintendo Switch and the Wii U. And from the looks of it, the Wii U version can already be booted in the latest version of the best Wii U emulator, CEMU. So this is pretty good news for anybody who doesn't have a Wii U and doesn't plan on buying the Switch, because that thing looks like it's good at switching itself off. Let's see, the video capture that I will show you is on an Intel 4790K with a GTX 780, 8GB of RAM, and the latest version of 1.73 of CEMU. Even though the game boots up, it currently has a lot of bugs that make the game unplayable. There are various physics glitches and ruined abilities that require object selection that doesn't work. There's no water collision, and it's impossible to leave the tutorial area without using a save. Still, the fact that this newly released game can be booted in an emulator speaks volumes about this emulator's quality and ability. As such, since CEMU is in its current state, focuses mainly on specific games, we are almost certain that it will become playable in the next few months. From what I understand, the frames are not tied to the game's logic. Therefore, you can play Zelda Breath of the Wild at 60 FPS once this emulator has it up and running. Also, I believe the emulator's creators are saying that obviously the game runs at 720p on the Wii U, and it runs at 720p when the Switch isn't docked. When the Switch is docked, it's 900p. So theoretically, once this is up and running, you could get 60 FPS 1080p or 60 FPS 4K if you're so inclined and have the hardware to do so. So this is actually quite amazing and great news for anyone who's on PC that is rebelling against Nintendo for any reason. Or maybe, you bought a Switch and your Switch is shit and you can't take it back. Or you can, but you won't be able to get another Switch for a while. This might be a good way to say F you Nintendo. Well, currently, I have no opinion, as I've been burned by Nintendo numerous times, so I won't buy any Nintendo products. I will not. Especially with the way they decide to release their games. Oh, buy this console. Okay, Zelda's coming out for it. Whoopee! Just kidding, we're gonna fucking hold Zelda back till our next console comes out. This is like the second or third time these fuckers have done it, and they're not getting a dime from me ever again. Oh my nuts! This is just a short video to let people know, just in case they gave a shit. As someone who uses emulators, I thought it was cool. Let's see, Sega and Creative Assembly have acquired Crytek Black Sea. Crytek confirmed the sale of the Black Sea studio to Sega Europe and UK-based developer Creative Assembly. According to the press release, the 60-strong dev team in Bulgaria will now operate as Creative Assembly's Sofia. Crytek's managing director Avnian Yurli said, "In the past few weeks, we have worked closely with Creative Assembly and the team in Sofia to ensure that the talented staff of Crytek Black Sea would be well taken care of. We are delighted to be able to announce that Sega's acquisition of Crytek Black Sea has been finalized. Along with the studio's transition from Crytek to Creative Assembly, this change is a part of the essential steps we are taking to refocus our core competencies and ensure Crytek is a healthy and sustainable business moving forward. We would like to thank the Sofia team for their passion and dedication, and we are looking forward to seeing them do great things as part of Creative Assembly." In unrelated news, it is worth noting that this will be the first GDC that Crytek will not be releasing a tech engine, tech demo. There are no games using the Cry engine. The only game that was still using Cry engine was Star Citizen, but they have notably moved on to Lumberyard right around the time the Crytek big debacle where guys weren't getting paid a few months ago happened. But if I recall correctly, Lumberyard is just another version of Cry engine, isn't it? And it's owned by Amazon, if you don't know, or give half a squirrel shit, to be honest. Now, if some of you remember, probably not, Crytek closed down 5 studios after not being able to pay any of their employees for months on end. This was back at around December 20th. The debacle lasted about a week or so when the shit really hit the fan. And I think it was around 6 months of not paying workers. And at one point, Cloud Imperium Games started paying Crytek workers and started picking up some of the Crytek engine workers to work in their studios for Star Citizen. This led to the end of Crytek, really. Let's see. At the time, employees had been complaining about unpaid wages. One person posted on Imager claiming that they hadn't been paid for 6 months. And I quote, Upper management refused to speak to any of us, and our managers have no answers, they wrote. We have never been apologized to, and they refused to talk to us. Meanwhile, more workers came forward to Kotaku, saying that they were continuously paid months late, and that many workers had either left or were already searching for new work elsewhere. Well, anyway, while this was going on, that's what led to Star Citizen dropping Crytek and moving towards the Lumberyard engine. On a basic level, the two engines share a lot of similarities, so the switch was a relatively painless process that Roberts said. It took a day or so. After all, Lumberyard was originally built on a version of CryEngine, but the two game engines already have a noticeable different focus. And I quote, "Looking at Crytek's roadmap and Amazon's, we've determined that Amazon was investing in an area we were most interested in. They are a massive company that is making serious investments into Lumberyard and Amazon's web service to support next-generation online gaming," explained Roberts. Crytek doesn't have the resources to compete with this level of investment and have never been focused on the network or online aspects of the engine. In a way, we or Amazon are. Because of this, combined with the fact we weren't taking a new build of CryEngine, we decided that Amazon will be the best partner going forward for the future of Star Citizen. Though Roberts said there is no ulterior motive in the timing of the announcement, it is worth noting that Crytek has had its own share of struggles this past month that could indicate a bigger problem on the horizon, which then led to, as you could tell, current day and time, Sega buying one of the studios from CryEngine, so on and so forth. So it's a big, I guess it's not a big mess. I mean, in a way, this isn't as bad as usual because a lot of game studios often close regularly in this day and age. And I blame it on the fact that AAA gaming has become a homogenized piece of crap geared more towards being accessible to the mass market and consumer friendly and casualized versus gaming being something challenging and story driven and requiring more than you just clicking buttons and going, I got an achievement. So in a way, this is sort of ending, but at least in a good way, in the sense that at least these studios are being bought by other companies and subsidiaries. As I said before, even Star Citizen's Cloud Imperium Games picked up a couple Crytek workers that were not being paid and looking for other jobs, and now Sega has picked up a studio. So this is better than usual for studios going belly up. That's going to do it for me. I can't actually give more of a fuck than me. I can't sit there and say, hey, rate, comment, subscribe, follow me on all my bullshit. I'm not going to lie to you. My Twitter's pretty fucking lame. Alright? So there, I said it. And yeah, I'm out of here. I'm off like a prom dress.
You put on quite a show, boy. I'm looking for info about a Chinese cartel. I'll tell you. What? In return, you don't show your face here again. Okay.